I've been trying to interview this guy Jamie for at least 2 years, but he's always too busy. He's the builder of one of the best belly tanks in the UK. Hello, I'm John and welcome to John's Projects. This week I've got something really special for you. He's built this car entirely himself, including the belly tank, which he's hand-formed, and the engine is a supercharged Ford flathead V8.
On my run that did the 122, it fishtailed like that for...
I saw it actually.
Yeah, the course. But
the first half is a general chit-chat, and in the second half we really go into detail about every aspect of the build, so feel free to just jump around and look at the parts that you're interested in.
Last year, and then I'll ask you a few questions about the car.
yeah, last year I hadn't really quite got it right. I'd put the new engine in after cracking the block in the first one.
Yeah.
And then we hadn't got the fuel pump set up right basically last year, and we only got 1 day on the beach. So we got, I can't remember, 1 or 2 runs in. And it was clear something wasn't right, but we didn't have the time to fix it. And with Sunday being cancelled, we had to go Saturday night. But because we couldn't run Sunday, we didn't have the chance to get a decent time out of it. So
Yeah. When did you start building this?
it's been finished 4 years now. It's done 4 seasons at Pendine. But it took me about 2.5 to 3 years roughly to build.
Right. And you started with the tank, is that right?
Yeah, started with the shell. Started with the bottom half.
Right.
I thought it's the least visible. I'll start with the bottom half. Do the top once I've got a bit better at it.
So, did you try and buy a real one to begin with and fail, or do you just go for it and do?
Yeah, well, I looked, and obviously there was one for sale in the States, but it was like 10 grand or something like that, and which was more than I was willing to pay. Plus, by the time you got it shipped here, it'd be a hell of a lot more than that. I did look around, but there's various other belly tanks, aircraft drop tanks available, but I wanted it to be a P38 shape.
Yeah.
As you have with yours, it's that very iconic shape.
Yes.
So yeah, decided it was just, I was already done lots of English wheeling and that sort of thing, so it was just a matter of, go down that route and build it myself.
I think you said you English wheeled for a while. How did you learn that? Because the guys who know how to do that, there's not many of those left.
Yeah, well, I started, my dad's a panel beater by trade.
Right.
So I grew up, he ran business from home for a while. So I grew up around lots of tools, lots of panel beating equipment. So it was there from a young age. But the English wheeling, obviously, is quite a bit different. And that didn't come till I sort of took an interest in it and went to Contour Autocraft over in Norfolk. And they do training courses. So I did like a weekend training course with them. And that was enough to get you started, basically. Then it's just hours of...
Yeah, I know. From here, I can't see any ripples or any like little errors or anything in it.
Not too close.
Is that because you brushed it, or?
Yeah, obviously, I'm moving. You finish on it. It isn't perfect. If you run your hand over it, it wouldn't do for a painted car, you know. But as a stand back, it gives the right look, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's just like where you weld them together, you'll sort of see weld seams. Another one on the cut line there. And you can see them if you look, but
when I go to Pendine, I look at anybody's car that's got aluminium welding on it, I'm always looking at the welds.
Yeah, yeah.
I think, oh, that's they did a neat job there.
Yeah.
Or yeah, because it's difficult to hide them. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
if you've had a go, which you have, obviously, it's not an easy. I think you see guys that do it every day and they do a beautiful job, don't they? But it's not as easy as they make it look.
So how do you get start with hot rods? I mean, why are you not restoring Senti's muscle cars, for example? Or
Right. The spark with hot rods, everyone's got watched American Graffiti or ZZ Top or something like that. ZZ Top definitely had an influence. But the school bus used to go past a chopped Morris Minor van in a field and it was derelict. But as a kid, I was just like, that car's cool. And it's sort of that stuck in my head for many years until, I started building them, really.
So what was your first hot rod then? Was it a chopped Morris Minor? Or?
No, that car over there, that's the first one, yeah.
Okay, we'll film that in a minute.
Yeah.
Well, that's a pretty big jump out of the boat from nothing, I suppose.
Yeah.
So where do you get your flathead engine blocks? Because obviously we're in the UK.
Yeah.
They're not just lying around propping doors open. Well, they probably aren't doing that in the States either anymore. But
no,
find the
it's
parts.
mostly word of mouth and people
Right.
know it's sort of thing.
Did you join a club or?
Well, the people in the VHRA mostly. The one out of that came out of French military truck, and there was a surplus of those kicking about in Europe and in the States. It's a few years back now.
So for people that don't know, they're like a late development of the original flathead Ford V8.
Yeah.
It's got a number of improvements. Is that fair to say?
I don't think there's many improvements. The French brought the design from Ford, French military, and they sort of combined a few years of engine to make one engine. Supposedly better castings, slightly bigger main caps on them, which is a plus. But otherwise not a great deal of difference. No real modernisation in there.
Right. So did you join the VHRA then quite a while ago?
When I finished
I'm a
that,
newbie.
obviously you've got to have a finished car to join.
Yeah.
Or not necessarily a finished car, but you've got to have some form of hot rod.
They let me in when I got a rolling chassis.
Yeah.
Then they let me in.
Yeah.
But when I had a pile of most of the parts, no, they didn't.
No, it's got to be convincing that you're on your way there.
But they did give me a bit of free advice along the way. I mean, they're all right. Because I have been called rivet counters by people who have been rude. But I mean, to be fair to me, okay, they didn't let me in right at the beginning, but they did give me advice.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably fair.
Yeah.
You don't want total time wasters, do you?
Yeah, I know they get slack for, why won't they let this in or why won't they let that in? But really, the strictness that they have is what makes the club so good, really.
Yeah. So if people don't know, that's the Vintage Hot Rod Association.
Yes,
It's a UK association.
Yeah.
And it's got a few events, hasn't it? It's got some auto jumbles, it's got the Pendine event. There's a hill climb, is there?
Yeah, it used to do Prescott Hill Climb, and now does Bicester Heritage Track instead.
Right.
Instead of Prescott. Prescott was an amazing event. Obviously hill climb. Bicester's good as well. You've got to have, I can't remember actually, it's at least one or two major vintage components, isn't it? And the car in the spirit of that era.
It's got to look right.
Yeah.
Right. So this has got, we'll go into it in a minute, but I know you've got a huge supercharger on this, haven't you?
Yeah.
Is that, do you start off without it, or was that always the plan?
It was always a plan.
Right.
Yeah.
Just going for it.
Yeah. It didn't go on there the first year, just because of time. Getting it finished, working all hours to get it finished, and it was just like, well, I borrowed the intake manifold off the coupe and put that on there, borrowed the tyres off it, put them on there, the wheels, just to get it on the sand for that year. But yeah, it was always intended to be supercharged. So yeah, going back the second year, put the supercharger on and blew the engine up.
So is that engine destroyed?
No, it's on the engine stand over there, and will hopefully live again.
So what actually broke?
It blew a cylinder wall. It's cracked a cylinder wall.
Right.
So I'm going to bore it out, put sleeve in, and hopefully get it running again.
So that can be recovered?
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
Nice, okay. Yeah. I forgot to ask you, so how many hours do you think it took you to make the body shell by hand?
Probably 300-400 hours, I think.
Yeah.
It's hard to estimate it because it's done on my Saturdays if I'm not busy with customers, and it's done, after work, a couple of hours after work. So it's hard to add up the actual time, but a rough estimate is 300 to 400.
Did you redo parts of it? Did you literally give up and throw parts away and start again?
Yeah.
It is made of welded sections. It may not be obvious.
Yeah.
It looks like a front and rear panel, but actually it's been done in stages, hasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 just in that panels in that front section there. I sort of started and I thought I'll use a roller and I'll roll in that curve first.
Yeah.
Brought a ring roller. And I rolled the first panel first to get it some shape, and then started English wheeling it, and that just did not work at all. So I realised from there that it pretty much got to be hammer formed, and then English wheeled smooth into the final shape. But it took a bit of figuring out how I was going to deal with the big sheets of aluminium. Mostly I'd worked with steel before.
Right.
So aluminium's quite different. It works a lot faster, which is good. But it also, because it moves very quickly, you can quite easily overshoot your...
You can overdo it.
Yeah,
I found that.
Overcook it.
I've noticed also there's different techniques. Some people English wheel a lot and do a little bit of hammering, and then the other way is you hammer it all into shape and then you use the English wheel to smooth out all the bumps.
Yeah. I'm the latter of the two.
So I didn't hammer much and did a lot of English wheeling, and then you say you hammered it into shape, and then, as you said, you can use the wheel to smooth it all out. Yeah. So what was the hardest part of the whole body work to make? Because I'll tell you what mine was, but I won't cheat. I'll ask you first.
I don't know specifically. I suppose when you get into the reverse curve, that section there.
I found that it's
it's quite. It takes a bit of getting your head around.
It's got curve inward as well as curve round. Yeah.
That I think I probably made a couple of those experimental panels before I got the technique down to make it proper.
Now, a lot of the original belly tanks, you could see they'd obviously found the belly tanks in a field somewhere.
Yeah.
And then this bit almost looks like they've just bent a bit of sheet and nailed it on.
Yeah.
It doesn't really match, but yours is all lovely and blended in. Do you have a louver machine? Or
no.
You just hammered these. Did you make something at all to do
These are seriously monotonous. I've got a die that bolts to the outside, so I drill a set of holes where each louver needs to be, and then the die is just put in with a couple of quarter bolts, and then punched with a former from the inside, so punched out into the.
So you cut a slot.
Yeah, slit
each side to hold
it,
and then you basically smack it from behind.
Yeah,
pre-shaped.
Yeah.
So, what's the sequence? You've got an ignition key.
Yeah.
Pressure. What's that? RPM.
Yeah, tack in the middle, which is not very period looking, but
something up the top. What's that little one there?
You got boost gauge there.
Oh, boost. Oh, I've got to have a boost gauge.
Yeah.
Yes.
Little GPS.
the tack does records max RPM.
Right.
It's got shift light on it, which is really handy because you really can't look at your gauges while you're flying down the beach. So yeah, just having the shift light come on is a real plus.
So what's the maximum acceptable RPM for a standard engine? Because I never know how hard I can rev it, or should we rev it, or will it self-limit with flow through the carburetor, or
well, yeah,
a standard engine now?
Yeah.
It's like you think, well, it's a really old engine. Maybe I shouldn't go above, I don't know, 3,500 RPM, or will it do 4.5?
4.5 too high for a stock engine. Yeah,
Right.
I think so.
So no either, maybe 4 at the most, or
4. Yeah, I would say
just
4,
briefly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when did your light come on?
It comes on just above 4,000, so it gives me a bit of. I know it's about time to change gear, but I don't have to quite yet. So I think.
It's sort of starting to flicker.
Yeah.
And it's like it's just like
as it comes up.
it's not blown up. Yeah, but you should be thinking about it.
It'll rev like 5,000. I'm trying to limit the RPM to 5,000 RPM.
Yes.
It'll rev up to 6, but on the full load, 5's probably as sensible as it should really have.
Right. Would it originally have been a column shift? Is that why it's got the little levers in the side of the gearbox?
Yes, it is originally column shift. This is a Mercury shifter that would. It's a column shifter that has been modified to fit on the side and operate the 2 rods.
And then a handbrake, hydraulic handbrake.
Yeah, hydraulic handbrake, which is the only braking, which operates the rear wheels only.
Yeah.
Works incredibly well.
Yeah, you just lock it on and then wait till the car slows down.
Yeah.
And then turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works.
The first year, the brakes cooked. And I pulled into it. I think it did 99.6 or something like that. Slowing it down, pulled up at the top end of the course, and the brakes the paint was burning off the drums.
Really?
So I got a set of shoes made by Midland Brakes, which are like some high-tech, softer brake shoe. And they've been excellent since then. They don't get hot, and it brakes much better.
There's several more miles of beach. I suppose the other thing is to brake gently and just let it keep going for another and then come back.
There's this mythical soft spot somewhere up the beach that you don't want to go in.
Well, it's got a name, isn't it?
But I've found a bit of ground that's a bit softer, but I've never found anything that I'm going to sort of.
Well, I used to. One of the reasons they built this, I wanted to get back on Pendine. I used to have a beach buggy. I would drive on Pendine, and I'd drive all the way until you got to the warning signs saying "military."
You
cannot go
shot.
and that's several miles. I found it got soft. There was a soft area right at the far end, but we're talking miles down where you started to get to the military bit.
Yeah.
Do you want to, have you got any welds on the inside of that?
Oh, no, I'm not showing you.
Well, no, just to prove. It's just to prove it is actually welded, because it looks like it's
have a look, and it doesn't look quite so.
Well, they're pretty good.
Well, yeah, but obviously you don't go to the same degree of finishing on the inside.
So you've got weld there. Is it welded on the middle?
There's a weld all the way down the middle. Yeah.
She made this and left and a right, and then this bit afterwards.
I can't remember how many sections it. Yeah, no, it is a. I think there's a join at the bottom, the very back sort of foot.
Right.
Is a piece, and then it comes all the way to here. Originally, I thought I was making it a bit longer. I can't remember what, but put a join there for some reason. But or maybe I made it a bit. I was bringing it. Yes, I decided.
Did you bring it forward?
Yeah, I decided. I sort of made it shorter to go to the firewall, or the back of the roll cage, maybe.
Yes, you probably.
And then thought, no, actually, it looked better if it came all the way forward. So I added that extra front piece on.
Now at Pendine, I saw you climb into this car with that on.
Yeah.
So it's literally just that hole there to get in through.
Yeah.
It seems a bit small to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got detachable steering, which gives you a bit of extra space. It's the only way to get in.
Okay.
That's right. Surprisingly more roomy than you think once you get in there. It's just getting the bum through.
I think I've got a wider bum than you.
I think so, possibly.
I'm going sideways. I'm not going to get out, you know.
No, you're going to get.
Right, I'm getting in. In's good. We can just win.
You have to sort of shimmy a bit sideways, I think. Yeah, you're in.
Right. Right. Actually, if you give me the camera now, see if I can get some. So with a helmet on as well, I'd literally be jammed.
Yeah.
It can go a bit more. jam stuck.
Yeah, you have to shimmy down a bit.
All you can see is boost.
Yeah.
Where you going? I'm boost.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, your eye line is right there.
Yeah, my eyes. I know, this is my eye line.
Yeah.
So head up, head down, boost.
Yeah.
I don't press on.
We're going to need fibre gauge.
Hang on. Let's get top off out first.
On easier or harder than getting in and out of yours?
Oh no, it is harder.
Okay.
Where do we start then?
Well,
Should we do an overview then, and then we'll go through each system?
yeah, can do, yeah. Yeah, sort of banjo back
Or should
axle.
we start at the back and work forward, maybe?
Yeah, can do.
Okay, so, early forward, banjo, can we see it?
Banjo with quick change in it.
Right, so the quick change, for people who don't know, is it visible at the back?
Underneath it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Under there, under there. Hang on, trying to film it here. Yeah, so on the back of the diff called a banjo, there's this adapter with this plate, and it's got 2 gears in it, which can be quickly swapped out, so you can get different ratios.
Gear ratios, yeah.
Without sort of dig into the car to do it. So what's that unusual flat battery?
Yeah, modern battery in there. The AGM, nice lightweight and lots of power.
Yeah. Okay. Anything under this? That's just to hold your connection.
Just a minute. That's shut off at a charging point, which is you can get to when the body's on. Through the little hatch.
Just fuse this. Oh, is that a shut off? Is it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Axle is 1936. Just to give a timeline to that. 1936. It's got Mercury 3-speed gearbox in it, which is mid-40s.
So these axles, again, for people that don't know, the later versions, what are these, what's the proper name for these rods?
Radius rod.
Yeah, they were mounted further out, weren't they? Because on mine, they practically joined this back plate here to stop it bending there. I think that's why
This is the original mount for a 36, so they do come to there on a 36.
Yeah.
They're different on different units.
So they varied slightly from through the years.
Yeah.
Because on the earlier ones, they were further in.
Yeah.
And then people managed to bend the axles.
I think the 36 has
they
spring
moved
behind, so there's the spring that comes all the way through with the spring mount on. So obviously this is rigid mounted rear axle.
Okay, so you said Mercury gearbox. Why? Is that because you just managed to pick one up, or is there some advantage to that particular gearbox?
Yeah, obviously it's to the period of the car. Ford 3-speed Mercury gearbox, but it is a side shift gearbox, meaning that rather than having a stick coming out the top, the controls come out the side, so you can rig up linkage to it to the front.
Right. So you've got 2 rods, or the tables?
Yeah, a couple of rods run down the side.
I can see them there.
Yeah, the gear linkage there.
So it's these 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so each rod only has to move back or forward.
Forward or back, yeah.
It's a combination of the.
One lever is first reverse, and one is second third.
Oh, you can sort of see where they. Yeah, the camera's struggling a bit there, but you can see where they join on.
Everything's very tight in there, isn't it?
So the gearbox. Yeah, everything is tight.
Yeah.
Right, you've got what looks like 2 fuel tanks. No, that's not quite right, is it? So there's one, is that fuel and that water?
This is fuel.
Yeah.
Fuel, and this is a water tank. It's about a 10-gallon water tank, which cools the engine.
Did you make those?
Yeah, yep.
And these are, where do you get these from?
These are aircraft wing tank fillers. War aircraft, I'm not really sure.
So you got them from what, an air spares type company?
Yeah, salvage.
Air salvage.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And is that like a swirl pot type thing there?
That's just the overflow for the coolant system.
Right, because the rules say you've got to have an overflow tank.
Yeah.
Way. Although I haven't actually got a radiator, so not quite sure.
Overflow tank,
that's
stainless steel flask.
That looks to me like
it's not very period correct, but does the job.
Right. So the water's going.
That's an expansion tank, the one there, isn't it? And then that's the overflow for the expansion tank.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay. Okay. So which way is the water going? So
Right, the water system comes out the top, gets pushed out the top
of the cylinder head,
by the mechanical pumps, down into this mixer T, down into the bottom into a heat exchanger, which is simply a radiator inside an aluminium box.
Right.
So the water from the engine is independent from the cooling system, the secondary cooling system.
Right, that's hidden under there, presumably.
It's right down under the engine.
So it goes, just flathead, cylinder head, water out, into a T, down, temperature sensor, presumably, right down there. So it's an electric water pump as well as...
There is an electric water pump just down in there, which circulates the secondary system. The primary is on the mechanical pumps.
Right. So I notice your pulley here is quite exotic. Is that?
Yeah, another homemade item.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, just to.
I see.
Usually the pulley would be out here, but to make room for the supercharger belts, I had to get it as tight into the engine as I can.
So that belt is going under that shaft there.
Yeah.
Is that right? And across to what kind of eye?
Across to the other pump. Well, it runs there's a miniature, like a plant alternator there.
Oh, right.
Which
so that's an alternator?
Yeah, originally it had no charging system, but it was such a pain in the neck dealing with flat batteries and not enough power for the fuel pump, which is why what messed us up on the third year, that I put this little alternator in. And this thing is tiny, but it powers everything beautifully. But of course it's Magneto ignition, so it doesn't need power to run the ignition system.
Right. What's that from? I mean, it's so small.
I think they're used on plant, like little mini diggers and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. And then that pulley goes down over the other mechanical water pump pulley somehow, does it?
Yep. It goes down. It goes down through round a tensioner. There's a belt tensioner, and then round the other water pump, and then down to the crank.
That is seriously tightly packed, isn't it? Even these belts are quite slimline, aren't they?
Yeah.
So is this to be period correct rather than a great big fat wide tooth belt?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Right, because that's what they would have done.
Belts would have been. There was no tooth belts back in 1940, so.
No. So you mentioned the fuel pump. Where is that? Is that hidden as well?
The fuel pump is hidden it's down under the fuel tank there.
Right.
But that I upgraded to a Holly because the original fuel pump was pumping, so it was starving the engine of fuel basically. Right. So we went with a big Holly that delivers about a gallon a minute, which is lovely.
So when you're working on this, do you just put it up on tool stands and drop the bottom body off? Is that the way, or?
I don't drop the bottom body off unless I really have to.
Because it's such a pain.
Yeah.
Yes. Is it in two pieces or one?
What I usually do is
one piece. Is it one piece?
Yeah, the bottom is one piece.
Oh, right.
So you have to drop.
Quite a pain to get off.
Drop the radius rods off.
Yeah.
I can't remember what you have to do at the front.
Is there a bolt in there somewhere?
Yeah, they undo. You can pop them off. They're a ball. So
right. So
and then usually I'll put a strap around that, lift it up with a forklift, and drop the body off from underneath.
Right. Okay.
Which is best to be avoided.
Be tempted to have a hatch that just unbolts.
Well, I did after the first year. I did put a hatch in under the sump so I can get in and do an oil change without dropping the bottom of the body off.
Yeah,
which is a definite plus.
Right. Now, some flatheads, just people that don't know this. Well, the hot water basically comes out the top here, doesn't it? But some it's in the middle.
Yep.
So is that earlier or later?
Later. It's 8BA. So this pre-49, and apart from the rear, all of them had come out the middle pre-49.
Right.
But I'm quite a big fan. A lot of people prefer that engine. They like the symmetry of it. But for me, an 8BA is where it's at. I like a post distributor and water coming out the front where it's meant to.
Because that was the other thing with these later engines, the distributor's not on the front of the engine, is it? It comes out the side like these
Yes,
French engines.
well, same as this. The mag's outside there.
There it is. Yeah.
Which
Because
is
Ford was too mean to put a bevel gear in, allegedly, and that's why it was always on the front.
always on the front, yeah.
Just beyond the radiator.
49 on, Ford put them a post distributor
It
in
did,
like that,
yeah.
But
Took them a long time.
yeah, they stuck with a.
Yeah.
Works well on the front, but you would struggle to get one in there with all that going on at the front.
So what's the deal with the Magneto? What is a Magneto and why is it better? Just for people who don't really know what a Magneto is.
Right,
better go
Magneto,
film
yeah, I get
there. So when you talk about Magnetos, I think about things like Spitfires, aircraft. It doesn't need a functioning battery, basically, once the engine's running.
Yeah, once it's running, it doesn't need the
so
battery.
it generates its own electricity.
Yeah.
Right.
The beauty about a mag is the faster you go, the more spark it generates, the more voltage it generates within itself, and more spark is generated for the engine. Where a standard ignition system can falter as it gets to higher RPM.
Right. So it gets better.
Yes, it
the
does
faster
get
you
better.
go.
Yeah.
Which is what you want, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Plus, it doesn't rely on a battery to run the engine.
So can you push start one of these then? Can you push start the car tech?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Right. I can't help but notice this.
Yeah.
So what's that then? Where did you get that from? What company make that?
It's a GMC Detroit diesel blower.
Right.
Or it's basically if I get my facts right, it's a two-stroke diesel engine, and it scavenges the exhaust fumes out of the diesel engine. Right. So it isn't originally built as a blower. You have to modify them, tighten up all the tolerances so they'll create more pressure to run as a blower, as a supercharger. But they were first pioneered mostly by a guy called Tom Cobb. For dry lakes racing back in the mid to late 40s. So that's a nice period correct bit of kit.
Is that just because they're easy to get a hold of in those days than the proper or cheaper?
Yeah, because there wasn't much in the early days. Obviously, there wasn't much available apart from those. Right. But as time went on, people started bringing more designs in.
And then you've got two what look like fairly standard carburetors on the top.
Yeah, Stromberg 97s, big bores.
Right.
Very nice carbs, flow a lot of air.
Because I've noticed with the standard flathead, as the valves open, they almost hit. If they opened any more, they'd be here to hit something.
Yeah.
So what can you do unless you make a little cavity above it?
Yeah. With these, I've got the heads on the mill, and you get a big cutter, and you mill it a little bit deeper, where the valves lift up into in the head. Right. Just to give it a little bit more room.
Right. So that's how you lower the compression as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. So you didn't got like a spacer plate or something weird. No.
It's just using. Well, these are 8BA.
So you're basically removing material to lower the compression.
Yes,
Give more space for the valves to lift.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Okay. I get it now.
Yeah.
Right. Headers or,
It will go faster if you mess with it. Well, in theory.
or break down on the start line.
Yeah.
This is the trouble with Pendine. It's a once yearly event. So you've got to think reliability all the time, not just performance, because you've got to wait a whole year really before you get another go.
Yes.
And if there's rain on one of the days, which there was this year, you literally just got one day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're very much one-trick ponies, aren't they?
Yeah. So, all right, how do you? I don't think you've got a rolling road. How do you know it's even going to work or it's even set up right? Do you just take it down a back road or? What kind of testing are you not able to do?
Well, we've got a private road out here, which is very short.
Right.
And obviously there's other businesses here, so we have to wait until it's quiet. Sort of last thing on a Sunday afternoon is quite good, and then we can do a bit of testing, but it is literally, I don't know how long the road is, 1/8 of a mile at the most.
Right.
So you can't do a great deal, but
You can see if it's...
last year and this year we've been taking it to Santa Pod to do runs at Santa Pod, which has been a massive help, because it's given us that time to do a lot of tuning with it, iron out the issues, and get it running right.
So when you say tuning and issues, what were the main issues?
Fuel delivery. Weren't getting enough fuel originally.
Okay. And you could tell that because you were just, halfway down Santa Pod and then it stuttering?
Yeah, you're just
how did
not
it
getting
manifest?
enough power. You're just not getting enough top end on it.
You could just tell?
Yeah. Okay. So with a nice big fuel pump in it, that made a huge difference. And then it was bringing up the boost. Obviously, when you set your supercharger up, you don't want to dive in there with shed loads of boost. You want just the right amount. So you sort of crept up on the boost level. And there's room to creep up a little bit more yet.
So how much boost are you running? Or is that secret? How much will it take?
Well,
things go
running about £6 a boost.
Nice.
At Pendine this year, at 5,000 RPM, it was running £6 a boost. So there's room, I think, to come up another couple of pounds on that. That's
So at Pendine, you did 120...
122.
122?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And the course at Pendine is a mile? Is it a mile?
It's not a mile, no. I'd have to double check. It's like 3/4 of a mile and then a 1/16 of a mile through the traps, I think. But Neil will probably correct me on that.
Because the issue at Pendine, it's not a drag race as such. I suppose it's about your final speed, isn't it? Not how long it takes you to get down the course. So when you decide to change gear and all that, it's up to you. It's just your terminal speed before you run out of beach. Really.
Yes, yeah. It's your speed through your average speed through the timing traps at the top end of the course.
Yeah.
So it's not a drag race. It's not about how fast you get there. It's about what speed you're doing as you go through.
And as you're on sand, obviously, if you floor it too much, the wheels will just spin.
Yeah.
So it's all about controlling. Well, the more power you have, I presume it's more and more about controlling wheel spin.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Now,
on my run that did the 122, it fishtailed like that for...
I saw it actually.
Yeah, a third of the course. But
when I built my car, one thing I realised, you've got to have cross-ply tyres with tubes.
Yeah.
They're not cheap, I found.
They are not cheap, no.
So is that 31-inch diameter? It looks similar to mine.
Yes, about 31.
Yeah, because when I bought mine, they were the last two in the UK.
Yeah.
And they're out the back somewhere. Officially, there were none in the UK. And the guy said, well, hang on. Yeah. But and I designed the whole car on the basis that they were going to be fixed.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, because obviously you can't... Is yours a rigid rear end or sprung rear end?
Rigid. I should talk about that, because for people who don't know, these cars tended, there are some with springs.
Yes,
tended to have a rigid rear end. So your frame
which means
rails just
no suspension in
bolted,
the rear,
welded, bolted and welded straight on. Strengthened with these rods. Yeah.
So your tyre size directly affects your clearance for the on the side.
Yeah.
So if you're too small...
And there's no limited slip diffs or anything like that. It's do people weld them together?
Well,
so you can only go in a straight line.
Yeah, you can. There are things you can do to lock up your rear to, make it.
I've seen people do that in the States. They on different cars. They
you can weld it up, make it like a spool in the centre of your diff. But because of the not delicateness, but the age of all the transmission, putting a spool in the rear puts a lot of extra torque into your drivetrain. So a bit of wheel slip a bit of differential helps you stops you from breaking things.
Right. I suppose you should talk about the front geometry here, because you've got, it's like reverse Ackerman in a way. These are normally behind
the back,
axle, not in front.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about Ackerman because you're going in a straight line. It's not designed to go around corners, is it? So
no.
You can happily reverse all of that.
So basically these normally would project back, and that would, but then they're coming through where your feet are. So simply to get enough room to even sit into a cramped cockpit, you basically flip it all around, which messes up the geometry. But as you say, you're going in a straight line, so it doesn't matter. And the whole lot's tipped back, isn't it?
Yeah. You're running about
go more likely to go in a straight line.
Yeah, basically. It runs about 15 degrees of caster, which is would be a stupid amount for a road car, but for a straight line car,
see it there. If you look at this,
works beautifully.
This axle, how far it's tipped back. Yeah. It looks a bit weird. Closely look at it. Yeah. How are these aluminium discs fixed on? Do they rotate with the wheels?
No, they're fixed.
Right.
Yep.
Oh,
bolted through. Yeah.
How do you fix the outer ones on?
So the outer ones are on with little screws like the old moon discs.
Yeah. So this particular, there were different variants of this, weren't there? Where some have the spring on top.
Yep.
And then these shackles are up here, like on mine. The springs sort of, would sort of come out like that. Was yours really low?
Yeah.
I don't know what year that is.
36, I think, if I'm right.
And normally these rods would meet in the centre in a thing that looks like a great big kind of tennis ball.
Yeah.
So you have
obviously
to
they're split rods.
heat these and bend them slightly so it all works.
Yeah, you have to. Put a lot of heat and realign them to work with the spring.
So basically the geometry here is all wrong. It just works because the car only has to go in a straight line, basically.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and then these are lever shocks, aren't they?
Yes, yep.
And I found that mine leaked and did absolutely nothing last year. You can get them rebuilt, but they're quite seriously expensive to get them rebuilt.
Yeah, I could do with looking at this one. I think
400 quid
a little bit.
It's amazingly expensive. Yeah. Basically anything can be done, can't it? But some of it's very expensive.
Yeah, no, there's somebody somewhere that can
and you made your own frame.
Yeah.
With a pipe bender.
Yeah.
Yep.
Brought a manual pipe bender.
What makes that now?
JD squared, I think.
JD squared. Yeah.
Great bit of kit, but
I was looking at those. There's the manual one. There's a hydraulic one as well. And then I was the price of that versus what it would cost me to just get a company to bend them for me.
Yeah.
It was a few £100.
Yeah, no, I sort of priced getting it built, and obviously because of the shape, it's quite difficult to get someone else to do. I suppose if you CAD drew it all first, you could send the drawings off to someone, but I tend to sort of get a rough idea and make a template and work as I go, sort of thing, rather than...
It's a complicated shape, and it comes down, then it's got to tuck out and then down like that.
Yeah. Obviously, trying to keep it within the body line as much as possible without having too big a cowl across the top. It's quite difficult to keep it all small enough. When you see a lot of tanks, the roll cage really does stick out the top a bit too much. But
mine's not as tight as this.
Yeah,
but I've seen worse. I've seen bigger ones than mine. They look like a roll cage with a car bolted to it.
Yeah.
I've tried to blend mine in as much as possible because I wanted a bit more room in the cockpit. But that is lovely.
It sort of depends how tall you are as well, because if you're tall, there's nothing you can do but make it higher. But obviously, with me being short...
that's right. I measured it with my backside on the bottom panel with a helmet on, and then you've got to allow another 3 centimetres or something to smack your head. And then then you've got to put foam on it.
Yep.
So you've got to allow for all that, and suddenly your roll cage, that's the lowest height your roll cage can be. And you can't lie flatter because there's no room left.
Where to put your legs.
Because you need some pedal room.
Yeah.
You've got to create pedals, and then you've got this axle across here. Yeah, so it's all compromises, isn't it? So you've got a real bomber seat. I was looking at bomber seats.
Yep.
If you can see that, and they are, even in ratty condition, they are seriously expensive, as are World War II era steering yokes?
Yeah, I lucked out with both of those. The seat came from a mate who likes to trawl tat shops, antique shops, and he found that. I knew I was thinking of building this, and it was one of the first parts of the car.
Right.
He turned up with it, needed a seat for his transporter, which I had, and we did a swap, and that was the start of the car, basically.
Oh, that's a good swap. What about the steering yoke?
Steering wheel was brought online on the old Fleabay. And it's from, I can't remember the name of the aircraft, but it's a 1950s anti-submarine, American anti-submarine bomber that it came out of. But
You know what? I'm going to film that upside down and flip it afterwards.
Yeah.
Oh, there it goes. Try and get a